My name is Oscar Ponciano Morales, and my presentation is on prison rehabilitation programs. All right, to start, today I will be speaking on the topic of prison rehabilitation programs and how they are used within the correctional system. The primary goal of rehabilitation programs is to help inmates change their ways, whether that means changing their behavior, attitudes, habits, or other factors that could be pushing them to commit a crime. This is done to reintegrate these inmates back into society, keep them from reoffending, and give them another chance to live a positive and successful life. Alrighty. A little bit of history. Unfortunately, rehabilitation wasn't always the goal of prisons. Back then, prisons were more of a place you could throw criminals into as punishment for their actions. And that was pretty much it. Basically, just a place to put people into a adult like timeout type thing. However, over time, especially in the 1900s, it was believed by people of that era that helping inmates improve themselves in prison could reduce offenses and reoffenses. This is inevitably led to the development of educational programs, job training, and counseling in prisons. All right. Now, what are rehabilitation programs? Rehabilitation programs are approaches composed of different activities. Some of the most popular rehabilitation programs include, but are not limited to, education, so like GED and academic programs. Many correctional facilities offer structured education programs that include GED preparation, basic adult education, and even some college courses. These programs were created solely to help inmates receive an education and improve their chances of landing a job after release. And then here we got like a little place that said that. All right. And then they also got job training, so like vocational training programs. These vocational programs teach job skills in construction, plumbing, and other related trades to better prepare inmates for employment upon release. These programs are key in supporting successful reentry to society by increasing employability. The New York State Department of Correction and Community Supervision, pretty much was backing that up. And then therapy slash counseling, so like cognitive behavioral interventions or CBI. CBI programs have a large focus on helping individuals change any negative thinking patterns or behaviors that could be leading them to commit these crimes. These programs help develop problem solving, anger management, and decision making skills to help these individuals successfully re enter society. This type of care has been shown to reduce criminal behavior. And the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation definitely agree with that. And then the substance abuse training, Amity and Prison Therapeutic Community Program. These programs are known for providing inmates with organized substance abuse treatment within the prison. These programs primarily focus on recovery, accountability, and behavior change to reduce recidivism rates. The Office of Justice Programs got that. Alrighty. And then, how is this benefiting society, I hear you ask? Well, they can lower recidivism. Research has often shown that inmates who actively participate in these programs are way less likely to reoffend. A major study found that participants had about a 43% lower risk of returning to prison than those who weren't participants. The Office of Justice Programs got that. Help inmates get jobs after release. Rehabilitation programs that focus on both education and job skills help increase employment opportunities upon release. Studies show that these programs not only reduce recidivism but also improve employment prospects, which is a major factor in keeping people out of prisons. If you got a job, you probably will try to keep that job and not go to prison. And the Office of Justice Programs in 2018 got that. And then improve behavior while in prison. Programs with structured training have been shown to improve inmate behavior by allowing inmates to set goals and learn positive habits. Research shows that the participation in these programs have been linked to better behavior among inmates and lower likelihood of future criminal activity. And the Office of Justice Programs in 1995 said something along those lines. Save money in the long run by reducing crime. Rehabilitation programs can save money in the long run by reducing the number of people who return to prison. Studies have shown that these programs are pretty cost effective since they reduce recidivism and lower the demand for incarceration and any future spending for reoffenders, as you know, implied by Office of Justice Programs in 2013. Now, a couple cons, with everything that's good, there's bound to be a couple cons. And even with all the benefits, there are still a couple downsides to these rehabilitation programs. A couple examples of these include um, programs can be a little expensive to run. Rehabilitation programs require funding for staff, like the teachers, counselors, and the training facilities, as well as materials and everything in between. Some prisons could likely struggle to keep, afford, and maintain these programs due to limited budgets. Another thing is not all inmates have access to them. Some correctional facilities don't typically offer many rehabilitation programs. This is due to space constraints or like budget constraints, or simply that the facility just doesn't have them. That means not a lot of people can access these programs, unfortunately. Another con is some people believe punishment should be the main goal. There are people who are more concerned with the punishment of inmates and believing that the main focus should be the punishment instead of the rehabilitation. They, believe they should just serve the sentence instead of being given like these services. And then results are not always guaranteed. Unfortunately, rehabilitation programs don't always work for everybody. Everyone is different, and some individuals may continue criminal behavior even after participating in these programs, unfortunately. All right, and then where are we today with rehabilitation programs? Today, we place a pretty big emphasis on rehabilitation rather than punishment alone. And of course, they include programs that specialize in education, job training, mental health, counseling, substance abuse treatment, and reentry support to help inmates, come back to society. As we move forward, the world of rehabilitation programs expands alongside us. Recently, some states like California have been stepping into the world of rehabilitation and have begun redesigning prisons to place greater emphasis on both rehabilitation and learning. Rehabilitation doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. Many recent reports are showing that rehabilitation programs continue to lower recidivism rates. Many challenges, such as staffing and financial problems, still remain, but rehabilitation programs continue to move forward. The governor of California 2026 had something to say about that. And then, response to the current state of rehabilitation programs. So, in my personal opinion, I think rehabilitation should definitely be the priority in the world of corrections. And I am very thankful that it is. Ever since I was a kid, I was told that America was the land of second chances. This was the place where you could make something out of yourself. I always found comforted in that. And I think that if you mess up once or twice, you still have a chance here to better yourself and find a way through it all. Sure, rehabilitation programs aren't 100% perfect, but they are definitely a step in the right direction. If I had to give a little bit of feedback, though, on these programs, I would say that more prisons should expand the access to education, therapy, and job training to help inmates improve themselves. Maybe institutions could also have like a partnership with colleges or employers. This would make rehabilitation programs way stronger, and maybe the cons will be a little diluted in the process. All right, and then to conclude, guys, um, although rehabilitation programs have their roadblocks, they remain very useful to the world. They were created to give those in a sticky situation another chance to better themselves and get back on their feet. Prison has evolved from a punishment to a second chance for millions, thanks to the rehabilitation programs that offer their multitude of opportunities. And then as the world continues to evolve, these programs will as well. And hopefully in the near future, this will pay off and we can move on to the next way to better our society. And here are my references. And yeah, thank you so much, guys, for listening to me. And I hope I taught you everything you need to know about prison rehabilitation programs. This was a very fun semester. I tried really hard on this. I've been working on it for quite a while, so uh, I just it was really nice to see it all come together. I'm very passionate about this, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your summer. Yeah, thank you so much for watching.